Everyone, welcome to another podcast. Today's episode 18 of the Ben Lister podcast radio show. My interview with Derek Buckman. Here we go. More uploads coming soon. Here we go. Here it is. Hello, and welcome to another podcast. It's 2021. We are very nearly out of lockdown. Welcome to the Ben Lister podcast radio show here on Hull Kingston Radio 107.4 FM. So far, I have had so many different guests from the world of radio and music and lots of different subjects over the past 17 episodes. And episode 18 is a bit different, is no different. And welcome to episode 18 and the last in the current series of the Ben Lister podcast radio show. And on to today's guest. He's a singer and his name is Derek Buckman. Hello, Derek. Welcome along.
Hello, Ben.
How are you today?
I'm fine, yeah.
5 questions about your music career, if that's okay with you.
That's fine, Ben.
Are we okay you ready to rumble in the jungle, if that's okay with you?
Sorry, speak up then, please.
You ready to rumble in the jungle, if that's okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfect for me, yes.
That's good. Let's go for it. Question 1. Where did you start your music career?
My music career then started in 1969 when I first started work as an apprentice, and the lads that were older than me had a band, and what they did, they said to me, would I like to come along, watch them, rodeo with them? So I said, yeah. And I decided to learn to play guitar myself. And the guy that was the singer of that band later became the singer of AC/DC, Brian Johnson. And he was the first guy that I ever got on stage with to play a musical instrument. And at the time, Brian was playing the workmen's clubs. He's a great lad, and he's never changed. And that's how I started. And from there, I moved on to playing workmen's clubs myself in bands, then writing original material, recording music, and to this day, I'm still doing it.
He's the man who owns a Ferrari, because I've seen him on a couple of things.
Yeah. He didn't have one then.
And he doesn't sound like a Geordie when he sings.
Yeah, Brian's from Gateshead. Basically, when I first started work, first started working in Newcastle, and basically their band was based in Newcastle.
Wow, Brian Johnson, the Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
He got took off tour for a few years ago due to his ears, I think.
Oh yeah, with his ears, yeah. Brian's older than me, even though I'm old. Brian's 4 or 5 years older than me, but he's still got it, and they're still going. So basically, he was my first influence, really. And at the time, Brian wasn't a rock star. Brian was just a club singer.
Nice. And did he? Have you had any problem with your ears over the music years?
I think basically, basically what happens as you get older, in those days you didn't learn your lesson. You played everything loud, and in later life it does affect your hearing. So I think now people are more health conscious now than what I'm. Same as yourself, you'll be using your headphones all the time, so you got to be very careful.
Yeah, you need to be careful and cautious, as we say, in this day and age. Question 2. Who were your inspirations in music growing up? Sorry, your inspirations in music.
It's got to be the Beatles. Really, when I was about 10 or 11 years old, the Beatles came on the scene. They were writing their own songs, and I think everybody that really wants to be in the music business wants to write their own material. And at the time, when I first bought a guitar, It was just getting to the point of like Led Zeppelin were breaking through, all the guitar bands. And basically that's what I wanted to do. But from there, mainly, I wanted to write songs. And hopefully your listeners will go have a watch of my videos and listen to my songs. And that's the reason I'm on your show.
Cheers. Yeah, the listeners may want to be musicians in the future, as we say. Question 3. What is your favourite part about being a musician?
Favourite what? Sorry?
Favourite part about being a musician?
I think it's discipline, really. And well, it's very difficult to learn to play guitar. So if anybody's out there trying to play guitar, don't give up. And once you've mastered the guitar and you can play it, you'll never be bored. Because you can be sitting in the house, nothing on the television, nothing on the radio, no offense, but you can pick your guitar up and you're never bored. And I think that is the most beautiful thing about being a musician, but also you meet people with the same interests. And to be a musician, you've got to be disciplined or else you'll never learn. You know, people think it's easy. They'll pick a guitar up and think they can learn to play it in a couple of weeks. No chance. It's very difficult. You've got to persevere. You've got to be a disciplined type of person. And they're the type of people that you do meet. And I've still got lots of great friends who are musicians. And a lot of them are my age and they're still playing.
Is Brian Johnson still a good friend of yours?
Brian Johnson, they've just released a new album, AC/DC.
Yeah,
I think he's doing a bit. I think he's doing a bit better than me. He had 2 million views on YouTube in one day.
Have you spoke to him recently?
No, he lives in Florida.
When was the last time you saw him?
The last time I saw him was when, basically, from AC/DC, how he got into AC/DC was a band called Jody, right? And the last time I saw Brian was just before he went off to do his Australian tour. And from there, he moved away.
Do you still keep in contact?
I don't keep in contact, no. But I did know him for 4 or 5 years. And I remember sitting in the studio with him when I was a young kid. And I can remember him recording, recording songs.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. And also, yeah, we'll just do it. Yeah, and also question 4, how has COVID affected your profession in music?
Well, basically, Ben, I'm at the stage in my life where I've worked hard all my life as an engineer for a couple of years. I'll go back out to playing as a musician for a couple of years. And I then decided financially going back on the road doing original material, I couldn't afford to do it anymore. So I built a studio. And basically, I built this studio and I record in the studio. So with COVID coming along, it gave me plenty of time to sit in this studio by myself, writing songs. And if you do go onto my Facebook and you look, I've written 4 or 5 songs involved with COVID. And one of them, which has had 5,000 views on YouTube, Angels in Blue, which is a song about our national health system. So basically what I did, I spent my time wisely, played by the rules, did all the music, did all the videos all by myself. So it didn't really affect me that much. But a lot of my friends who rely on gigs to pay the way, they really struggled. And I understand young people, it must be terrible.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, things will get back to normal. I've been out to see a couple of my friends playing. under COVID regulations, and it is starting to get back to normal, which is really good. But what I would like you to do is have a listen to my songs about this period of time, because if you listen to them, they tell a story of what you probably want to hear in question 4.
What's your favourite place in the northeast to go listen to music at bars and stuff? What's your favourite place to do that?
It's got to be the City Hall in Newcastle, because it's a smaller venue than the arena. But you name it, I've seen them. So I've still got a great passion for going out watching live music. And you can listen to music on headphones and on the radio, but you can't beat a live sound.
Yeah, brilliant. Question 5, last question on the list here on the podcast radio show. What advice would you give to young musicians who are starting out and maybe listening to this show and they're too scared to do so?
Well, first of all, don't do it for the money. Because now, when we had records out years ago, you could sell records, people would buy them, and you could make a small living. Now everything's on streams. You've got to be a real superstar to make any money, but it's worth starting out, and it's worth doing it if that's what you want to do in life. Because it's not an easy way. I know plenty of people who's had hit records and never made any money. So all I would say to anybody starting out is do it because you enjoy the music, you enjoy the company, you enjoy the vibe. It's a fantastic atmosphere to get out on stage and go down well. You can't beat that. But if you want to go and make money, find another profession.
Brilliant. That's it for today. Thank you very
much.
much.
It's been lovely talking to you.
For joining me, Derek. Do join me again soon for another podcast if you can. Thank you.
If you want to ask me, Ben, any questions you want to ask me, I'm available. But what I want you to do, Ben, I want you to go after this interview. I want you to go away and watch my videos. Then tell me what you think.
And we may even play one of these on the tracks when this gets aired on our station.
I just hope you do.
We'll try our very best. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Please give it up for today's guest, Derek Buckman. And basically...
Okay, Ben, thanks very much.
And that's a wrap. My interview with Derek Buckman. More coming soon, where we'll have Neil Velger to upload later on in the day. But for now, thanks very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. And that's a wrap.